Hello, everybody. Paulo Santos here again, your host on the Offshore Diaries. It's been a bit, but we have a fun one today. Um, MJ Lim,
Hi.
straight from the
Yeah.
Philippines. So we have a fun story today. MJ, we're going to talk about a couple things today,
Mm-hmm.
but the basis of most of this conversation is going to be you've never been a VA before.
Right.
You're coming from how many years in the BPO industry?
Almost four.
Okay.
Three, almost four.
And we're going to talk a bit about how you got to the VA industry or what's bringing you to the VA industry. Um, But I guess the fun part to start off with is let's talk about how you and I connected because I think that's
Truly.
oh yeah
Okay.
I think that's kind of crazy. I think to me that's the craziest part of it because it's random as
Yeah.
hell. It's courageous,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're becoming a VA for the first time, courage is really important.
True.
Courage and knowledge, and I think how we met is kind of a good combination of that. So why don't you tell him about how we connected here?
Yeah. So one day I just got home from work and just thought about how tiring the BPO industry is. So went on to Reddit. I posted in a V sub telling them how tiring it is, how high demanding and low paying the BPO industry is. So I posted like I was asking for tips and tricks how to get on, how to transition from BPO to VA. Now Paolo, he commented on my post.
Hold on, let's just clarify what this post says, by the way. I'm going to pull this up for 5 seconds here. Ready? Topic is no VA experience.
Correct.
And it says,
Yes.
newbie question. Hi, guys. Can you recommend websites or agencies for newbies?
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 years of BPO experience and I'm really tired of working on site with a very low salary. Okay. And my comment back was, what kind of roles are you looking for? And this wasn't trying to entice you to talk to me. I actually just want to know you're a VA for the first time.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Right. So you went
I
ahead
didn't
and
even know
yeah.
at that time. Yeah, I didn't even know. I told him that I don't know. I don't have an experience. So like just lead me on. I don't know. So I DM'd him,
Yeah.
ask I told him, hey, I was the one posting that, like, how can you help me out and stuff. So he told me to hop on an interview like right away. We did an
Hold on,
interview.
hold on. It wasn't an interview. It was
Yeah,
a let's just.
not
I'd
a
love to
typical
understand
interview.
what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because I'm always nervous now because my comment to you had about 25 other people message me. I guess you're looking for people. I guess you're trying to work. I guess you're trying to hire somebody. And I was like, whoa, what just happened here? I wasn't putting a job posting. I was just responding to a random Reddit, as we do on this podcast a lot. We look at random Reddits and we respond to crap. Um, but you took the bold initiative to DM me, and I was like, and you were the first one to do it. Obviously, it was your post,
Hmm.
and I was like, yeah, sure. What the hell? Why not? Let's see where the hell this goes. Um, I knew nothing about you, nothing about your background. Obviously, Reddit is super anonymous. So we jump on a call.
Yeah, we jumped on a call. Not the typical interview that everyone knows of in the Philippines, by the way. It was just like we were just talking, like ranting, opening up and stuff, like about how what I'm doing or what I'm planning to do, why I'm doing this and stuff.
Did you know?
And
Did we talk about when you saw me? Well, that was the first time you acknowledged the fact that I was a Filipino American,
yeah, yeah, I
right?
thought you were a Filipino American. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, afterwards, he just told me that sure, let's hop on a training. We'll pay for the training and stuff. And that's how it went. And we're here now.
Yes. So full disclosure to all our audience and listening people over here. I did hire MJ. Welcome to
Mm-hmm.
the team. Um, you guys know I kind of like taking kind of these, risks on people where I'm like, okay, you know what? Everybody needs a chance and opportunity. When I was getting into my career for the first time, somebody opened a door for me. I think everybody needs a chance for a door to be opened for them.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was hilarious that it came from Reddit to begin with, to be honest with you. It
Yeah.
was just extremely shocking. I have not hired anyone from Reddit past. In fact, I always thought that some of these subreddits and forums where these VAs are talking are just kind of hilarious. And, obviously the whole podcast was based around my beliefs on some of these VA conversations on those subreddits. All right, so here we are. You are now officially employed with me, which is
Mm-hmm.
hilarious because I may be the most atypical client you will ever have as a VA.
Okay. I
But
mean,
go ahead.
yeah, that I would know, but I guess.
Yes, I will either make the VA industry wonderful for you, or you will hate everything about it in about 4 days. I can't promise either one. One or the other is going to happen. But let's go to this first. So you've
Mhm.
been working at a BPO for 4 years. Now,
Correct.
from what I hear, from what you've told me, from what I've understand, I did some research on this. You were actually working at one of the higher paying ones in your area,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay. So this. We're gonna go two parts here. Before we talk about why you're becoming a VA,
Hmm.
let's just talk about why you're leaving BPO.
Okay. Well, that's very easy. Like anyone from the BPO industry transitioning to a different um, career would say that it's very easy. Like there's a lot of reason why you should. I mean, there might be some reason why you shouldn't, but more of why you should. First off, the BPO industry is so draining in a lot of ways. For example, we'll start with how you're taught how to be like almost robot-y, like almost a robot. You're given scripts, you're told what to do. You have to stick to a certain way of how you speak and what you should say. And that's just crazy to me how it doesn't work. Like in every situation, it doesn't work. That would not work in like certain problems, customer problems. But you don't have a choice. You have to follow the script or else you'll get like reprimanded. So that's one. And anyone can attest to that. I mean, you're not being told like to read a script verbatim, but there's a certain way of how you should say it and what you should say afterwards.
Right.
And also sometimes, I don't, not everyone, but like most of the bosses, like in a BPO industry, not even like the boss, just like um team leaders, um office managers, they act like they pay you. They act like they're the one paying you. They're so bossy that they would want you to like bow down to them. Like you can't even look them in the eye because if you do, like they look at you like, wow, the audacity to
Right.
look at me.
And,
I'm
and,
a
and by the
boss.
way, just to be clear, this is an in-person office. So the people, these
Yeah,
managers looking down on you are basically your
yeah,
neighbors. They're in your area. They live
correct.
within 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 shot of this office. So
Mm-hmm.
these aren't people that are living in. These aren't foreigners coming in. These are
No,
actual
no.
neighbors, viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not even directly talking to these
Right.
clients because there's someone much higher than them who's now directly talking to the clients, but not them. No, no,
Right.
they're not the ones like directly conversing with these clients, these account owners. Yet they act so highly,
Right.
which I was really shocked when I came here, like when I applied, like with Paulo, because we were just talking casually, and that doesn't happen in the BPO industry. Like, no,
You
that
know,
never happens.
what you're bringing up isn't exclusive to the BPO industry, by the way. I know a
Yeah,
lot of people. I know a lot of industries, a lot of companies in the Philippines. A lot of this is basically Philippine culture, though, right?
correct.
Any kind of hierarchy, any kind of power
Mhm.
grab is really they take it way too far. They take it way too far. Including like there are on some of those same Reddit posts and subreddits. There's a lot of conversations about how Filipino managers in the Philippines are worse than their foreign managers and the foreign clients,
Definitely.
right? Which is kind of a
Mhm.
shame considering you kind of are in the same boat. You're not
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Like
Um,
share the same nationality and stuff. You know how hard it is to live in the Philippines.
Right.
You both live in the same place. So I don't know how they think they're so different from you when your foreign clients, your offshore clients are so much more empathetic, much more understanding. Like it just doesn't make sense
Right.
to me.
Right. And unfortunately, by the way, that is, I think the Philippines takes it to another extreme. There is that power grab in any corporate structure, even here in the
Mhm.
US and anywhere else. Is absolutely there. But I think the Philippines takes it to such an extreme because of desperation, right? Like they know that if I'm making a few dollars more an hour, a few thousand pesos more per month, I have an advantage over you, right? And they milk that. They will say that all day long. Oh, you make a million pesos, I make a million and one pesos. You should bow down to me, right? It really is that crazy in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have overworked. They're giving you scripts. There's no deviance. You can't deviate from anything. You can't change anything. You're kind of basically just robotic mode. You have really
Mhm.
fascinating managers to be nice about it, right? Treating you badly. There has to be something you like about in the BPO industry. Was there anything you actually enjoyed about it?
Yeah, actually, the reason why I lasted in the BPO industry was because aside from the fun stuff, we'll start with the benefits. Though you can actually get it. Now thinking about it, you can actually still get those benefits while working as a VA. You just have to be responsible about your finances and stuff.
Yep.
Now, it's the HMO. Everyone, HMO is the reason, like one of the reasons why they stay in the BPO industry, because you get insurance and stuff. They cover like your kids, your family, but you can actually still get that. You
Yeah.
just have to be responsible about how you do it.
Yep.
And also, um, there's this talk about how when you become a VA, you can just be abandoned by your client and stuff. Every time you ask someone, hey, you should start being a VA, hey, you should be a VA, they'd be like, no, I'm not secured. There's no contract. They can just lay me off. Unlike the BPO industry where you're actually protected by like, Philippine law, how you're not actually gonna be terminated in an instant and stuff like that. They always think that when you become a VA, the assurance of being employed will just
Right.
go away.
Right. All right. So,
So,
so the pro of being a BPO of what you're saying is that you have job
mhm,
security,
correct.
at least perceived job security, because even in Philippine law, they can still terminate you for whatever reason. It's not
Yeah.
as if they have to keep you on because they legally can't fire you. They can terminate you at any point or lay
Correct.
you off because the client left them or the money is down for whatever reason. They do have the right
Yeah.
to terminate you.
Yeah.
It's just to me it's just as insecure in many ways as being a VA. I guess
Hmm.
more just like I guess from a VA standpoint, there is the idea of being ghosted or a client not paying, etc. And when you're in a BPO, you're working for a large corporation that has some sort of structure and thousands of other employees. So I get it.
Hmm.
All right. So you knew you had to leave the BPO industry, even with
Yeah.
the positives of security. As your HMO, you knew you had to leave. Why VA? Why not go to another BPO company? Why not go to a call center? Why not go to anything else? Why did you say I want to become a VA?
Well, obviously, whichever BPO industry you go to, no matter how good the reputation is of the company and stuff, the culture will always be the same. It will always be the same. It'll be refreshing at first. New people, they're good. Meeting new people and stuff. You'll have hope like, oh, the boss here is much better and stuff. It's a routine.
Right.
It it'll happen again. What happened before? I mean, I had a few companies already, and it's the same thing over and over. It just gets better, a bit better, I guess. I mean, the more reputation the company has, they have to like maintain standards and stuff, right? But it just doesn't go away. The feeling of being looked down upon, the feeling of like being, I don't know, you're being treated like you're just some um employee that can be replaced anytime. Like there's no, you're not even valued that much. Like,
Can I stop there for 1 second, because there is this is a good topic about the idea of being employee number five, being replaced, being not valued as much. And I'm giving you this. I'm telling you this because as a client side, not just how I look. Forget the fact that I'm a Filipino American. Let's just talk to me the fact that I'm a business owner here and
mhm,
I hire VAs. Just that one single aspect. We in the US and other foreigners do look at the Filipino VA pool, and I hate to scare you off, as replaceable, as employee number five. It's kind of the
mhm,
reason we do it, is because we know that there's a large pool of talent there that we can pull from. And every time somebody resigns or ghosts us or fucks up or whatever else, we can find somebody else fairly quickly for the right price. I just want to make sure that we understand that from the client side, from the VA side, from the BPO side,
it's the same.
there is always going to be. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same. Part of your challenge is the fact that that exists in person, not as
Mhm.
much as that exists physically in person, where somebody is literally looking down on you or literally putting their nose up at you. I don't I believe there's going to be a level of that even in the VA industry,
Mhm.
even the VA world. Um, Anytime you have the power struggle of employee, employer, boss, worker, client, VA, service provider, it's going to have some sort of dynamic where, okay, side of it has to accomplish a goal, the other side has to help the other person accomplish the goal. If the other side can't help the person accomplish the goal, they then have to replace that person, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that dynamic will exist to some extent anywhere you go. I believe what you might be talking about more is the physical representation of that, which can't feel good, right? It's just
Yeah.
gotta suck.
Yeah.
In that world, so you were in person. You've never had a remote job. What about the VA industry? Actually, what made you take a look at the VA industry initially? Were you looking at influencers? Were you looking at podcasts? Were you looking through Reddit? What was like? I can do that role. I could be a remote worker. I can do that.
Well, I do think that, like, with our current job, even with our current job right now, I do think that it can be done remotely. It's just that I think there's more benefit to the company
Yes.
if they ask agents to report physically in a building rather than they work from home. Now, what made me think that I can do the VA work despite not having any experience? It takes guts. I do think you can't do that without guts and confidence that you can actually perform. Mm, I I can say that I'm a high performing individual. So I do think that if other people were able to do that, I mean, not everyone actually. That one of the reason why the market's saturated, it's so saturated, is because a lot of people think that, hey, if they can do this, I can do that as well. But genuinely, I do think that I can. I mean, you've hired me, so I do think that I can do it.
Now we had a long talk before we actually came to terms on agreement, and I told you, and I asked you all the questions. Do you understand that I'm not taking deductions off your
Right.
paycheck? I'm not paying you your health care and the deductions for that. You're in charge of
Mhm.
your own BIR payments and filing, etc. That's all you, right? And I
Yeah.
and I, I was trying to preface the idea of, okay, are you sure you're made for VA work?
Mhm.
Knowing
Yeah.
conversations that you and I have had about, like, I've had admins now that want to go back into the in-person interaction, right?
Mhm.
Because it's definitely a change of lifestyle to
Right.
go every day, doll up, get into a car, get into an uncas, get to the office, sit there in a cold thing, hang out with your people in your area, go for a cup of coffee
Yeah.
together, grab lunch, grab drinks afterwards. That culture, in many ways, disappears.
Yeah.
Right? There is nobody you're hanging out with to go to the water cooler. It's just you, right? Um, I think a lot of people coming from any kind of in-person job to becoming a VA has to think about the mental toll it takes and strength it takes to be a VA. Just not that there's no mental strength, obviously, to come from where you're coming from, 'cause it's just a different kind. And I think there's always the grass is greener conversation, whether you came from in-person corporate life or virtual remote life. There's always going to be pros on the other side that you're going to miss or that you wish you tried out,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to exist. And we had a long talk about like, are you sure about this?
Correct. Yeah,
Right?
you did tell me that I won't be seeing people on a daily
Right.
basis anymore. I mean, working from the corporate industry to, I mean, the BPO industry to a VA industry, and also you told me about the risks, um, HMO, also losing your job. Like you lose your job. What are you gonna do? Because it's again, it's there's this idea where they believe that the BPO industry is much more um, insured than VA, right? So yeah, I think it just takes a lot of courage and responsibility. You just have to be responsible about it. Because again, if you lose your job, you just have to make sure you'll be fine for the next few months.
So at some point, you're going to start working full time for me. I know we're kind of transitioning into that phase
Hmm.
now. One day, you're going to wake up and you're not going to have to rush to get to the office. You're not going to have to put your makeup on, take a shower, or I hope you shower
Hmm.
still, or make sure you have your pretty outfit on to make sure you look good for a meeting in person or whatever else. You're not going to have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, How do you think that day is going to feel when you feel it for the first time? Is it like a liberating feeling, or scared, or just
Of
weird?
course, it would be the best feeling for me. I mean, it's a preference, but for someone who likes to stay home a lot rather than go out, it would be the best thing. Because I go to work like at a certain time, right? I prepare like 3 hours before my work hour. Because again, it's traffic. You have to take a bath. You have to prepare. You have to doll up. You have to check your clothes if this is a good clothes for today and whatnot. And you're not paid for that. You're not paid for that. And it's a lot of work, but you're not paid for it.
All right, so let's talk about some details here, right? So this was a rough year in the Philippines for
Hmm.
storms and okay,
Yeah,
okay. So obviously Cebu was hit very hard recently.
correct.
What was that day like for you in the Philippines?
Yeah, it was it was so bad. Like how they handled it here in the Philippines, it was so bad. During the earthquake, we were actually in the office during that time. Like we were, our building was shook. We're like 20 floor above, and it was just weighing so hard. Like it's scary. It's scary. Everyone, I mean, not a lot of people like cried and stuff, but we're not even allowed to go out. We're
So what
not
did you do? What did
allowed to exit the building.
hold on, so just back up. The building starts shaking. Do you crawl under the desk? Would you guys run to? What do you guys do? Right?
Yeah.
What's your first thing you do?
You know, I even heard that some of the leaders told them not to abandon their calls. Like just tell them something's happening and stuff. Like you have to let them know before like actually abandoning the call. No, I won't do that. No. So
Wow.
you have to hide under your desk, tuck, cover, and hold. Like, but during the time when everything was like everything come down, you're owed to go down, right? Go to the exit, use the stairs and stuff. But the stairs were blocked. You can't even go down. Like that's
Wait,
so
wait, wait.
crazy to
How?
me.
What were they blocked by?
just guards telling you not to go out.
Okay,
And
and there was.
some,
Well, hold on one second. I'm very confused here. So guards were blocking the exits of an
yes,
earthquake-ridden
but it's
building.
not their fault. I mean, they were just like ordered to do it.
Ordered by who? By the company?
That I would not know. I think it could be. I don't know if it's the
Okay,
client or
okay.
if
I'm not. Yeah, I won't jump to conclusions, but this is very strange. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
very strange.
We're not
Wow.
allowed to go out. You can find a lot of videos. If you look it up, like how the Cebu earthquake was handled by BPO companies, you can find like a lot of videos. They even put barricades on like parking lots so
Oh
that
my gosh, yes.
their vehicles can't go out from the parking lot. Like that's just crazy. And the building wasn't even, I mean, I don't know. They did say it was safe for work afterwards because evaluators went out there, but there's like big cracks, fallen tiles and stuff. Yet they still operated the next day. And that's crazy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And you're not even, I mean, they would tell that they would actually contact agents and like, why are you not reporting and stuff? An earthquake just hit yesterday. Can
So
you be a bit more considerate? Like that's
do you know? You could say you might not. Do you know if your managers get bonuses based on their performance?
I don't think they do get bonuses, but I do think they get an earful when their
Okay.
attendance
Only
like
because most BPOs I know that have some sort of sales or commissionable component to it, managers and budgets attached to it, the managers get a piece of that based upon the
oh right.
profit bill success. So you guys leaving for 3, 4, 2 hours, 5 minutes drops their ability to make money.
Yes, yes, that's right. So maybe they're not actually paid extra for us to come to work,
Right.
but in the thought that agents are not present, no one's doing sales,
Right.
means it's a loss
Right.
for the company, for the client, for and for them, since
Yeah.
of course they're getting commission from our work.
And you know what's
So
crazy? What's crazy is I know a lot of executives here in the United States. I don't know a single executive that if their call center and BPO team was in the Philippines and that team was having an earthquake, would have a problem saying, okay, go take care of your family, shut it down for the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know one single company and executive here that would say, get your ass back to work while the earth is still shaking. So to me, that I could be wrong, just an assumption. To me, this is more the Philippine management local team
correct. That,
saying, I will not look bad in front of my clients. You guys
mhm,
don't embarrass me. Get your butts back to work.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They love pleasing their clients.
Right.
They don't even think about the agents anymore. They just want to look good in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's fast forward. BPO industry is a whole different universe. I don't want to bash it because there are a lot of people that have success in it.
Mhm.
All right. What are you most scared of? Besides from having a terrible client like me, what are you most scared of about becoming and being in the VA world?
At first, I was really thinking about like people will discourage you. They will tell you about what I said earlier about losing your job in a snap and stuff like that. I didn't think I lasted for 4 years because of that, because I was scared. But now thinking about it, um, actually touching the VA industry, being here now, I don't really think there's anything that would scare me regarding how VA works. Because I said this before, I'm insured. Like I make sure that I'm insured, not in no not insurance or stuff. Okay, like I'm insured even if I lose my job.
You have a backup plan.
Yeah, I have a backup
You
plan. I
put some
have
money away.
correct. I already planned like ahead. I already
Yeah,
planned ahead. So
that's great.
nothing actually scares me now regarding the industry, maybe, or maybe it is scary to think that you won't have a client like in the future. Like, but I do think that hard work and stuff, you'll get there. I mean, you'll get there. 3 months is a long time to get there. So
Right.
yeah.
And you and I had a lot of conversations prior to this,
Mhm.
including some like some prep training to understand if you were capable of it or not. And I basically kind of wanted to scare you away to see
Mhm.
how much to see if you would stick, right? Because it is a scenario where I told you about the. Are you sure you have these things lined up?
Yeah.
I could promise I'm going to hire you. I can't promise I'm going to keep you because
Correct.
I don't know what's going to happen. You and I both don't know. You may hate me tomorrow. I may not like any of the work you do in the next week. That's always a possibility. Like the
Yeah.
guarantee in any world does not exist in any kind of employer, employee, client, VA
Mhm.
engagement. There is never that guarantee. Um, I guess in that same sense, you know, I have multiple VAs, partially for that insurance policy on my side that if somebody flakes out or doesn't work out, I'm able to slide somebody in while I look for another replacement and not have lapse in work. At the same time, most VAs have multiple clients in order to do the same thing. Now, you and I had a talk about this, and I says one of the rules I'm going to have
Yeah.
if you're working on a full-time standard with me at the capacity where our agreement states is that you will not have another client, mainly because of confidentiality. And realistically, I know several VAs that do not work for me that have two or three full-time clients, which basically means somebody else is paying for you to do somebody else's work, right? It's milking it a bit too much. It's impossible for
Mhm.
you to have 8 hours a day for three different people and literally working to full capacity for either one of them. But I know a lot of Filipino VAs that do it,
Yeah.
and there is an unfairness to the client on my side, right? So yeah, honestly, to me, that's one of my biggest things because I don't know, I wouldn't know who the other clients are. What if you are doing whatever else? So
Mhm.
anyway, all I'm saying is that the risks come on both sides. You could easily leave. I can't stop you from disappearing. You decide not to answer my messages one day. Guess what? You no longer are reachable,
Mhm.
right? There is that risk on my side as much as there is that risk on your side, right? Both of us have to have our insurance policies ready to go to make sure that there's continuity in our lives and companies either way. All right. So this has been a lot. I know I've actually never met somebody who was part of those Cebu earthquakes in the BPO industry. I did see a lot of those reels and a lot of
Yeah.
those like videos and stuff. So it sucks. That's absolutely frightening. Um, did you have a lot of peers that you eventually became friends with at your current company?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did. I did. But
So,
doesn't really hold me back or
yeah.
something. Because at the end of the day, it's just me, and I have to take care of myself. So
And that I think is a great way to end this because that is some great advice to any VA, whether you've been around for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, or it's your first time doing it. You got to do what's best for you.
correct.
And when you have wife, husband, children, whatever else, you're doing what's best for you so that you could do what's best for them. Um, but there is nobody that's going to tell you if you're made for this except for you.
That's
And
right.
those people that are warning you, it's fine. It's totally okay. It's just not for them,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
It's not for everyone.
It's not for them. It's okay. It's okay. Some people need the people interaction. Some people like getting up in the morning, getting dressed, putting on a fancy shirt and tie, and
Mhm.
feeling good about themselves, and getting into a car and driving to work, or taking a car, or taking a jeepney to work, whatever else, and then feeling like you're sitting in an office, and then you go home at 5 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is for you guys, and you check out and you're back home with like some people enjoy their life. It's cool. It's cool. Whether you're coming from a BPO, coming from years of experience as a VA, it may not be for you. It may not be now. It may not be ever. It may just be temporarily. You
Mhm.
know, make the best of what it is. MJ, this has been great. I'm happy you're joining not just the podcast, but happy to join us here at my company. We're excited for it, and I've told you before. I've always liked people who came from from a environment that they worked with people in person. Um, I do think a lot of VAs lack that ability. So they're graduating college for the first time. They've never worked in an office. They've never worked in a corporate structure where there's managers and peers and presidents and vice presidents and clients everywhere else. It adds a lot of experience, even though it's not a VA. Learning to work with other people is an experience that you really can't get unless you do it. So I've always loved that about your background. You actually came from that world. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to be very successful in whatever you do. I'm happy you're going to be doing it with us, right? And you know, to all of our listeners, I think MJ made a great comment. If you're going to be willing to try it, don't let anything hold you back. Don't let the
Yeah.
fears go. You're either going to fail or succeed. Whether or not that
Yep.
happens is going to be a question of courage and how much you can handle. Right.
And that happens in the BPO industry as well. You
Right.
just it's either you fail or succeed.
Right.
In every career, like that happens.
Great. Well,
Not just
MJ, thank you so much. This has been great. This has been
you.
another one of the Offshore Diaries episodes. We will catch you guys next time. And we're signing off. Have a good one, guys.
Bye bye.